Oh, what's up, guys? Just thought I'd show you. I decided, since I'm on the gold fever there, or that I have the gold fever, I don't know. But anyways, I decided I found you could get some free Paydirt. Well, it was $2 for a free sample from Felix's Paydirt Gourmet Gold in Alaska. I've actually seen there's quite a few reviews of this stuff on YouTube. Where people get these free samples and pan them out. But anyways, I'll just show you. I don't have the actual baggie in here. It's outside with my gold pan. But it came with some documentation, paperwork. I think this is just one thing. So, yeah, there you go. Something tells me that's probably valid for more than 14 days, but hey, you never know. If you try using that code and it works, there you go. I don't think I'll be buying any big things of gold or anything anytime soon, but it shows different people with a bunch of gold in their pants. Supposedly these are supposed to be people that bought it, and some testimonials, yada yada yada. $10 off any gourmet gold. Well, any gold is gourmet. I don't know. But yeah, there's the code again. Valid only 14 days. I bet you that's not true, but you never know. Blah blah blah. Blah blah blah. Blah blah blah. Blah 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 blah. So that's that, and then there's this pamphlet, best dirt on earth, blah blah. You know, it's pay dirt. It's, you know, you're not going to get rich mining this shit or panning this out because it's not made to, you know, they're not going to send it away if they're going to make money or not make money on it. But they got the mother load, which is a 2-pound bag with a vial. It's $110 US, which is expensive. Then you can get like 10 bags for $1,100. And wow, 51 pounds. A 5-gallon bucket worth, which is $2,200. Wow, they must have some fucking gold in that. And then there's the Bonanza. 2-pound bag is 170. Blah blah blah. Again, you can get a whole bucket worth. And yeah, it's shipping, and actually it's half the fucking price of the item, which is pretty expensive. But whatever. And then it's just shipping info, payment info. And then I expected French, but this is a Canadian, or this isn't Canadian, this is American, so they don't actually do both like they do here in Canada. But blah 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 blah. You know, some pictures of people with gold nuggets. Oh yeah, somebody gives away gold nuggets if you buy Paydirt now and then. But yeah, it seems like, you know, something fun to do and fun to try. So anyways, I'll get back to you once I get out to start panning this out. Alright, so this is a small pan. I don't know how many inch pan it is, but like, that's my full-size pan over there. This is my little pan. It's one of the ones, the Garrett ones, it doesn't have the lip there. So it's not the best for panning down past the riffle stage, but with little amounts of stuff like this, it's probably alright. This is what I got for $2. Like, it's not much. I had a look and I couldn't see anything in there, so I expect it to be very tiny. I wasn't impressed by the bag though. You can see the bag is full of holes. See that? They're all, I mean, most of them aren't holes, but there are a couple little holes. And you know, the bag is very perforated. And I didn't show you guys, but in the bottom of the envelope there's actually a little hole. So I'm hoping that the good parts of this didn't leak out and, you know, fall out of the envelope during shipping. That would really suck. But I guess they must put this through some kind of a rolling machine to keep it nice and thin. Oh, I think I see, yep, pretty sure I just saw a speck of gold in there. Down in here somewhere. I don't know if you guys will catch it, but it might be right there. I don't know. But regardless, whoa, this is the sample. It's a tiny little amount. Supposedly it's unprocessed. I have my doubts. It's probably just a salted bag of old concentrates that, they've already gone through. That's usually what this kind of stuff is, but hey, we'll see what it is. Anyways, I'm going to, I can't really film this and do it at the same time, so I'm going to throw this in the pan here, add a little water, swirl it around, and see if I can't see anything without actually doing any panning, because the amount of dirt in here is so minuscule that really in the pan I should be able to find it pretty much instantly. Make sure to also season your pan. I've seen a lot of videos where people are doing this and other Paydirt videos where they're doing Paydirt and they haven't seasoned their pan. That's very important. Make sure you take some sandpaper or emery cloth, even some sand, and just scrape it all up. Scrape side to side though, don't do what I did here and scrape up and down. Though these will help, they can also cause things to flow away. That was a bad idea on my part, so now I have to use this side. I will probably scrape this eventually at on a different angle, like it is over here, but definitely season your pan. That makes a huge difference, and I see a lot of people doing reviews that haven't seasoned their pans, and it's a very bad idea. The other thing, always use either dish soap or Dry Dry every time. Unless you're back in the woods, you don't have it. Otherwise, if you're home panning, definitely use it, because there's no other way you're going to catch the float gold. Alright, here we go. I have dumped in my bag, you can see. Always make sure to wash your bag as well. Sometimes, your fine gold gets caught in there. But as I expected, I put some water in this. I closed the Ziploc, gave it a little squeeze, and it did start leaking out of a few spots. So there are holes in this bag, which is not a good sign, but it'll probably, I'm sure the good stuff will be in there. But no float gold off the top, I don't think, that I've seen. But I haven't started panning it yet. Let's try to see. Oh, I think I see a piece of gold on top, but that could be mica. It's hard to say. My water's a little bit cloudy, so that makes it a little difficult to see on camera. Oh, I think I see a speck right down in there. Right there. If you guys see that. Right there. I think it might be a tiny little speck of gold. But I'll pan it out here and show you what I get. Well, and a couple swirls in my pan, and bang, there it is. 3 chunks. I haven't gone through any more. I'm going to pick those 3 chunks out and I'll try again. But I have a feeling from all the videos I've seen, this is pretty much what you're going to find in a sample bag. I think every sample bag that I've seen a video of has 3 specks. They're actually little flakes. They're not they're not flour gold. They are a little bit better in size than flour gold, that's for sure. But there ain't no picker or nothing. But for $2, it's I'm not complaining by any means. I'm glad that I didn't lose the gold. But it's pretty obvious that they salt this, and then that this stuff has been run before. You can see I didn't dump anything out of this, and after stratifying, there's barely, the water was a little cloudy already to start with, and it only made it this much cloudier, which means, this has kind of been run. Oh my god, there might be down over here. I think that's, oh, lost my focus. Whoa, anyways. Down over here there might be a little speck. But from what a lot of people have said, and what I've seen, a lot of people this is the results they get. So I'm going to pick those 3 pieces out, and I'll continue panning this out to see if find anything else. A lot of people get these gold snuffers. You know, the Garrett Gold Guzzler. Really, it's just a snuffer bottle, sucker bottle, whatever you want to call it. The problem I have with these is if you have very fine gold and not a lot of it, it's hard to suck it up and get it back up out of the bottle. Very fine gold gets kind of caught in the cap and like on the sides here. It doesn't want to come out. And I sucked up when I did my ovens Paydirt, my first bag. I still haven't done my second bag. I'm going to do a video on that soon. But yeah, when I tried to suck it up, I was having big problems with it getting stuck in here. I almost lost some because it was actually in the tube. I didn't realize it, and I squirted it back out into another pan by accident. Anyways, I also had at the very bottoms of my concentrate from this bag, after I panned it out, and there's a ton of very fine flour gold in there. A ton of it. Well, not a ton, but a lot of it. So anyways, I was trying to figure out how I could get it out, because, you know, picking it up speck by speck is kind of sketchy and you lose a lot. And I've been breaking up some rocks here and having fun with those. That's another story. But anyways, now I don't know how well this will show up on camera, but this is my gold out of my my Paydirt bag from the ovens, my first bag that I did. Now you guys can see there is some fine ass gold in there. Like, look how fine that is. Oh, that's my focus there. But yeah, you can see my biggest piece is right up there under my finger. There's a little bit of black sands in there with that. I haven't cleaned it up anymore, but you can see how super fine that gold is. I mean, there's all the flakes, but the really fine stuff down at the end. I had that all in the pan. I could not get it out, and it's like, crap, I didn't want to throw it out, so I didn't know what I was going to do. And then I was looking around, and I forgot. I have one of these. It's just an eyedropper, but it's perfect for that super fine gold when you don't have a lot of it. I've never seen anybody suggest this, so this is a suggestion from the hillbilly. If you're, you know, not getting the super duper, or if you're getting super duper fine stuff like we do here in Nova Scotia and many other places throughout the world, get one of these guys. It is worth it, you know. I mean, sure, you're not going to be sucking up ounces of gold with this thing, but if you're working small fine gold, you can suck it all up with this and put it into your jar or wherever you want to put it without losing it. The only thing you have to be careful of is if you suck straight up, it may fall right back out. So when you suck it up, turn it on its side right away. That's what I found. And always do it over your pan, so that like over top of your pan. That way when you squirt it back out, or when you tip it down, if the gold falls out, it'll fall back into your pan. You can still get it back. But anyways, like I said, I'm going to pan this out and see if there's anything else in there with those 3 flakes. They're going to look good in my vial for sure. They were worth the $2, I think. Alright, so I've pretty thoroughly gone through this, and there might, and I definitely have to say might, be another speck or two of gold in here. But for the most part, and sorry about the cloudy water, it's kind of throwing things off, and no, that's not a chunk, it's just a rock. There's lots of shinies though. There's definitely some mica, maybe some pyrites, and by the look of it, some kind of other deposits, maybe silver, platinum, I don't know. I don't know my metals well enough to even hazard a guess at that. But I got my 3 specs as expected. There isn't really much more, if anything more. Most of the specs I'm seeing are probably, by the looks of it, like I said, mica or pyrite or something. But, you know, still, I didn't expect to hit the mother lode here. I knew that I would probably get these 3 specs like everybody else does. And, you know, maybe the odd one, he throws a little more in there. But I have a feeling, like I said, these are probably salted bags. So, that's them there, the 3, because they were slightly larger, and actually they're a different color gold. Now that I look, they're much whiter. Might have been washed more. There, that helps. You can really see it now. That big chunk there is actually a very thin flake, but I think my panning technique is pretty good. As you can see, I get a lot of really fines. So, and from what I've found out, panning with these newer pans with these riffles are, it's pretty idiot proof. You're pretty hard pressed to lose all the gold or much gold at all. You might not get every speck. I reran a few times and got the odd speck more out of it, but for the most part, and the more I'm getting the technique down, the less I'm finding that I'm even losing a single speck. So that's good to know. But anybody who's interested in getting the Felix Paydirt sample, and you haven't watched any other videos, or you have watched other videos and wondering how other people made out, well, I think everybody makes out about the same with that stuff. It's got 3 flakes in it. It's great to start if you've never panned before. I suggest doing it. There are some nice black sands in here. There's a few shinies. Looks to be a bit of quartz mixed in with it. But actually, garnet looks like, or something in there too, maybe. But yeah, I mean, it's well worth the $2. Actually, if you're American, you could probably get it for free. I think the only reason I had to pay $2 was for international shipping. But yeah, you can definitely do this and get your specs out. And not only that, but those 3 flakes of gold, once you have them, you know of them, you know what they look like and everything. Well, you could take a bucket of, it could be no good pay dirt, it could be anything. But just some kind of dirt. This is actually a mixture of crushed up quartz and some beach sand I found. I might have got 2 or 3 specks of gold out of it, but it's basically garbage dirt at this point. But I can take my few flecks of gold, dump them in there, pan it out, of course, over a bucket or a pan or a bowl or something, or another pan, so you can, if you don't get your 3 flakes, you can find the one you lost or ones you lost. But most likely, you keep doing that a few times, you're going to find your 3 flakes, and every time. And once you can do that consistently, then your panning technique is much better. And like I said before, make sure to season your pan. That makes a huge difference. That was one of the first things I did after trying to pan a couple times and not having any results. And I've noticed that the scratches make a huge difference. It will make the gold stick. Oddly enough, just a scratch in the pan will make, the gold will collect along that scratch. And make sure, they do say jet dry is the best. I haven't actually used jet dry. I've just used dish soap. 1 drop of this. I've seen gold floating in my pan a couple times. 1 drop, boom, all that gold hits the ground. I'm no pro, just a beginner. I literally started panning, I think, 3 weeks ago. Well, actually, I tried panning a couple months ago at my father's place just for the fun of it with this. And obviously I didn't find anything. I don't know if I even would, because it's white. And even if I did see something, I wouldn't know if it would pop up enough. But like I said, I'm not a pro, I'm new, but I'm trying to give some tips to some other people that might be new to this. Some of these guys have been doing it for years, kind of go over people's heads. It took me a little while to get used to the techniques and but anyways, this video is far too long. It was just supposed to be about the Felix Gold Paydirt sample there. As you've seen, I got my 3 flakes of gold. I'm happy. It's, I didn't expect anything more than that. So anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video, and stay tuned. Soon I will be doing the rest of my gold that I have in my other sample bag here. I've actually seen, if you look really hard, the odd time you can see a flake. But there's, for $11, I think, or $11.95, I think that was a great deal, because like I showed you, there's probably 5 or 6 flakes that I got from other sources, and then there's 3 I just put in there, 3 bigger chunks, but the rest of the small stuff was in that vial. or was in that bag. Oh, and if you happen to get one of these bags, clean the vial, because the last bag I did, the vial was full of gold dust, and kind of proved that they salt the bags. But again, I kind of expected that. Anyways, people, hope you enjoy it. Talk to you later.